Good morning and happy Monday, Cowboys. I'm Kat Gonzalez here with this week's edition of Canyon News Network. Coming up on today's show, we'll take a look at this week's weather, a message from our principal, and more. Today is Monday, March 15th, and Canyon News Network starts right now. Welcome back. To start this week off, let's send it over to Woody for this week's weather.
Cowboys, this is George Hunter, and I'm here with this week's weather forecast. On Monday, there will be a high of 49 degrees and a low of 35. On Tuesday, it would be a high of 59 and a low of 38. On Wednesday, it would be a high of 66 and a low of 45. On Thursday and Friday, it would be a high of 70 and a low of 47. On Saturday, it would be a high of 63 and a low of 43. On Sunday, it will be 62 with a low of 43. That's all for me. Now back to you.
Thanks, Woody. As you may be aware, hybrid learning is set to be in motion very soon. Here's a message from Mrs. Holcomb about the reopening.
Good morning, Cowboys. It has almost been a year to the date that we changed our educational practice to help ensure the safety and health of our Canyon family as we were faced with a global pandemic. It has been a challenging and uncertain time, but we are now at a stage to begin to rebound. And as part of those next steps, I'm thrilled to officially invite you back to Canyon's campus. We have missed you, and we hope that you and your family are well. First, all students will continue to attend school 5 days a week, but attending school is going to look a little different than it did. We have been divided into cohorts. Your cohort is either an A, a B, or exclusively online. If you are cohort A, you will attend school in person on Mondays and Tuesdays and attend classes virtually Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If you are in cohort B, you will attend school in person on Thursdays and Fridays, and you will virtually attend Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. No student will attend school in person on Wednesdays. We will be using these days to provide time for cleaning. If you are a student who selected to remain exclusively online, there are basically no changes for you. You will log into your classes every day. Please pay close attention to the rotation of the periods each week so that you know which class you're attending. There are a couple new steps to your morning routine. You will need to have your parents or guardian complete the Crisis Go COVID screening that they will receive each morning in an email. When done, your parent or guardian will need to take a screenshot of the green QR code and text that to you. You will then show that green QR code at the gate along with your student ID to get on campus. If you're unable to complete the survey, we will complete the screening at the gate. We have 4 gates open, 2 at the main horseshoe and 2 in the student parking lot. Each student will receive your Canyon ID with a lanyard this week. So please be sure you are checking your emails for your designated time to pick up your ID either on March 18th or March 19th. Students are required to wear their student ID at all times. Each student is also required to wear a snug-fitting mask that completely covers their nose and mouth. Remember, gaiters, scarves, and bandanas are not acceptable face coverings. The gates will open no earlier than 8 a.m. As you approach the gate, please pay attention to the 6 feet of distancing placards on the ground. Administration will be asking students for their Crisis Go green QR code with that day's date as well as your ID. If you're able to show that, you will have your ID scanned and proceed through the gate after sanitizing your hands. This is the quickest way to gain interest to the campus, so think of that as your fast pass. If you do not have the QR code, not to worry. We will ask you the COVID screening questions by campus supervisors and have your temperature taken. Once clear, We will scan your ID. You will need to sanitize your hands, and then you can head through the gates. Once through the gates, you will notice signs and markings throughout the campus. We ask that all students follow these to maintain safety on campus. These include walkway directions, entrances and exits, table restrictions, mask guidance, and distance reminders. Pay particular attention to the bathroom limitations. We are only allowed 2 students per restroom. If you are new to Canyon's campus, the size can be a little overwhelming at first. We will have office staff stationed around campus to help you find your way to class. We are also setting up freshman campus tours for the week of March 22nd. Please check your emails, our Week at a Glance publication, and our website to sign up for the tour. Once you have entered campus, please proceed directly to your first class. Students may not congregate in groups on campus. Upon entering and exit any classroom, you will be asked to sanitize your hands. Once in your classroom, you will have an assigned seat. That will remain your seat for the remainder of this year. Students will also be assigned a specific Chromebook. That number in that class will stay the same for the remainder of the year as well. You are allowed to bring your own device, but it is not mandatory. Once you are seated in the classroom, you will be asked to stay seated to maintain social distancing. You'll have a 10-minute passing period or a break between classes. Please do not congregate in large groups. Tables and benches are limited to 1 student only. Please utilize the restrooms or eat a quick snack prior to proceeding to your next class. Please note there will be no vending machines or food services during the school day. Students with open periods are not permitted to wander campus. If your open period is at the beginning or the end of the day, you may come to campus before your actual first period or leave campus when your classes are over. Let me give you an example of this. If you have an open 5th, you may come to campus 10 minutes before 6th period begins. If you have an open 7th, you may leave directly after 6th period. I know that some of you also have open 3rd or possibly an open 6th during the day. You may visit the library. Campus gates will be closed between the time of 10 a.m. and 11:20. If you arrive to campus during that time, you will need to proceed through the main office to be checked into campus. At the conclusion of your last class, please exit through the same gate you entered. There will be 2 stations for grab-and-go lunch. One will be next to the main administration building, and the other will be at the V gate leading to the student parking lot. If you take a lunch, please remember to eat it off campus. We're committed to the safety of our students and staff. Please ensure that you are following Canyon safety protocols. We're all in this together, Cowboys. We cannot wait to see you on March 29th, or the week of March 29th. And we're so excited to have you back on campus. Have a great day.
Mrs. Holcomb, it's bizarre to recognize that it has now been over a year since the pandemic affected us. This next piece is pulled from a segment that aired last Thursday on PBS News Hour, where 3 of our CNN members spoke on how this last year treated them. Here's Patrick with more.
It has been a complete year since COVID-19 put everyone in lockdown, putting shops and people out of business. This pandemic has not only impacted workers, but students as well. These few Canyon News Network students, as well as others around the nation, were asked how this pandemic has affected their lives and challenges ever since it started in 2020 till today.
It's been a year.
COVID-19. The virus had changed everything for everyone.
It's very overwhelming in this time just to exist.
I think the pandemic affected me the most was mainly through sports, because there was a solid 8 months where we just had no sports, no hope.
I hate being in the house. And I hate my car just sitting outside. It's my car being lonely, man. It wants to go skirt.
I mean, first thing I'd love to do again is go to a movie theater. I've not been to a movie theater in probably over a year.
The pandemic has also made me a lot more of a humble person, more empathetic, I'd say.
Last year, I didn't really take care of myself mentally or physically. Now I work out every morning and eat healthier.
I became more closer with my brother, and I've had to make new friends in the neighborhood because others live in other parts of the town, but some live right around the corner from me.
I feel that I'm a very different person than I was a year ago. I also feel that I'm nicer and more compassionate, and some lessons I've learned throughout that time are to not judge people based off what I know, because I really don't know what they're going through.
I cannot wait until this pandemic is over and everyone in this whole wide world is safe.
Although COVID-19 has affected these students, they are still striving in their everyday lives. For Canyon News Network, I'm Patrick Hunter. Now back to you.
Thanks everyone. Canyon ASB has partnered with Flower Power Fundraising to promote their direct delivery of bulbs and seeds. You can follow the link on the Canyon website for their page and spring catalog. Orders are due online by May 1st. March is Women's History Month, and Canyon ASB will be active on Instagram at Canyon High ASB all month with different posts that will honor the contribution of women to our society. Our week wouldn't quite be in motion without a quick sports update. Let's send it over to Josh to fill us in.
Good morning, Cowboys. We had a mixed kick off the sports last week. Sports are still in action this week. Girls and boys soccer have games against Saugus tomorrow. The girls teams both play away, Frosh at 1:30 and JV at 3:15. The boys play at home this week with Frosh at 1:30 and JV at 3:15. Football has its first league game this Thursday. Frosh plays away against West Ranch at 4, while varsity plays at home against Saugus at 7. Lastly, softball has scrimmages this week. On Wednesday, varsity plays West Ranch at home at 4, while JV plays the following day at 3:30.
Thanks, Josh. Given upcoming midterms, assignments, and changes in our society, we could all benefit from learning stress management tools to help us regulate. The Wellness Center is hosting a workshop on March 17th. The Zoom link is available on the Canyon High website if you are interested. Well, that's all for me. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at CHS News Network. I'm Kat Gonzalez, and have a great week, Cowboys.